Alright, Aid, we are here today in Feynman Corner to discuss PET scans, positron emission tomography, and how mind-blowing they are. But we gotta go over some stuff. Okay, so when we're in third grade, we're taught that atoms are made up of electrons, neutrons, and protons. Electron negative, proton positive, neutron neutral, right? But later we would find out that it's a little bit more complicated in that you can have a certain kind of exchange. In particular, when an atom is upset, has an upset belly, it can burp out stuff so that its belly kind of gets better. Its nucleus is happy again. And when you burp these things out, you can have three kinds of burping. You can burp alpha, beta, gamma, A, B, or C kinds of radiation. Alpha is when you shoot out a helium nucleus, so 2 protons, 2 neutrons. Burp it out. Beta, which is the one we're going to be talking about today, is when you either shoot out an electron or a positron. Positron, remember that word? Positron emission tomography? Remember that. And then gamma is just light, but on the low frequency end of the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so that's atoms. We're good with atoms. Now we got to talk about the Krebs cycle. I have a little diagram here, one in which you and I have both studied. So metabolism is broken down into catabolism and anabolism, building up and breaking down. We're going to talk about the breaking down part. So catabolism. All right. You eat sugar, some kind of carbon source that will help you create that proton gradient, turn that dial, turn that turbine. You phosphorylate those atoms, you turn ADP into ATP, bada bing, bada boom, chemical energy. Right? Okay. So humans are really fucking smart. And we took usual sugar and we took off an OH group. And in its place, we put a heavy fluoride. Heavy meaning it has too many neutrons in its belly. So it's still fluoride, but it's got an upset stomach, so it wants to burp out. What does it burp out? Beta decay. And as a result, you have what's called nuclear transmutation, which is just you burp out this thing and you go one lower. So fluorine becomes oxygen. In order to make this, you need a mad scientist who has a cyclotron. A cyclotron is a fancy centrifuge where you just take little particles and you swirl them up and smash them together. So then you go from oxygen and you pop on a proton and some neutrons, and now you're a fat fluoride. Okay? But this fluorine is unstable to a degree. Its half-life is 110 minutes. This is crucial. So mad scientist puts it in a centrifuge. The cyclotron makes this heavy wanna-burp fluoride isotope, and they need to rush it to the hospital for it to be used in PET scans. So you rush it up. I mean, they're getting better at it, but this is like old school 1970s style. So you make the shit, put it in the car, you say, get the fuck over there. So they get it, and then through some substitution reactions, you take that fluorine and you pop it in some sugars, and then you give it to the patient. There is another step in between, and it's very important, and that is you sedate the patient. So, again, we're talking about this cycle, and what do you use energy for? For activity. So, you put the sugar, the fat sugar now, it's got the fluoride on it. You put this fludeoxyglucose, so fat sugar. Put the fat sugar in a saline drip, and you sedate the patient so that they're not moving around, and you don't put this expensive isotope into their muscles, and their muscles are moving around, because then when you look at the imaging later, it's going to be muscles moving. And you don't want to see muscles because you know the cancer's in the bones, or you want to look at brain activity. So you want no muscles moving. That's going to ruin everything. So sedate them, put in the sugar. In 110 minutes, that sugar will decay, beta decay, beta positive decay, emitting a positron. And here's where the terminology kind of takes away from the incredible advancements of human civilization. A positron is an anti-electron. It's antimatter. It's motherfucking antimatter in the hospitals. So the antimatter and matter, when they meet, they collide. And so your bones take this fat sugar, they break it down, it shoots out a positron, which meets an electron in your body. They annihilate, emitting gamma radiation. Remember that third, ABC, that third kind of radiation. Gamma radiation can penetrate lead. So all you need is something there that's sensitive to light to catch that. So it's in its sequential order. A cell acts, a positron is emitted, meets an electron, collides, gamma radiation, light at that site is emitted onto a board. Bada bing, chicken wing. We know where the cancer is going, where it's most active, and how to treat the patient. And that, my friend, is positron emission tomography.